Hi, in this video we'll learn how to stop the bleed. This is not real blood, so this is just for training purposes. We will use some very simple tools like gauze pad, ace wraps, and we'll also talk about how to use a professionally made tourniquet. The moment you see a patient who is bleeding, you can just direct them from a distance to put direct pressure on their wound. So put direct pressure on your wound. So wherever they are cut, they need to start pressing so that the bleeding can stop. Then you have time to get your tools out of your first aid kit. Go ahead and take a gauze pad and put it in so that it can soak in some blood and there is some pressure. It's easy to put that. And then you can go ahead and take out the ace wrap, the stretchable wrap. The idea is to wrap this ace wrap tightly here so that the blood vessels constrict. The idea is to wrap the wound with the ace wrap. So for that you have to take all the stretch out, and with the help of your patient you can just wrap it on the wound. You can see you have to take the full length, pull as much as you can so that it gets tight. Like I was saying, the objective of this is to stop the bleed. So what you're trying to do, we're trying to create external pressure so that the blood does not flow through the injured artery or vein. So for that you have to make it as tight as we can. And yes, this will be uncomfortable for the patient. You can also give specific point specific pressure by just giving a simple twist. You might have to add another one. So you can go ahead do that, or you can also check for the pulse distal to the injured side. If there is pulse, that means the blood is flowing. Once we are done with one ace wrap, we will check if there is any blood circulation. If you have access to another one, it doesn't hurt to put another one on top. And crank it and make it as tight as you can so that the bleeding can stop. I'm not doing that because you don't have the real patient. You can go ahead and lock that. Check for distal pulse. If pulse is still present, that means the ace wrap is not, or the pressure dressing is not doing its job. You need to make it tighter. If you don't find any pulse or there is any discoloration on extremities, that means that you have been able to achieve your goal. In some cases, you might have to use a tourniquet. If you have access to it, if it's arterial bleed that you're not able to stop with these ace wraps, then you need to apply commercially made tourniquet. This is one type of tourniquet. You find a lot of other different types. So if this is the injured side, let's say, I'm going to put tourniquet about 2 to 3 inches above the injured side. So it would be better to have this lever on the lateral side, on the outside. So I'm going to place it here. I'm going to wrap this around the body part. Take this, insert in the buckle, pull it out, place it where it's about 2 to 3 inches above the wound. Pull as tight as you can. Again, objective is to stop the bleed. Once you have done that, this lever is what will help create more pressure. Once you have done that, this lever is what will help create more pressure. So you want to crank this, so you want to rotate this clockwise. 1, 2, and 3. So you rotate this 3 times and insert it here. and you can go ahead and write the time this was applied. If you have applied a tourniquet, there is no reason for you to take it off. The only authorized person who should take this off are the people those who work in hospital settings, or someone who has higher education than you and experience than you. You can also just secure it like this here. You could also just duct tape it on top so that it doesn't fall on its own or lose the grip. So this is how you stop the bleed. Start simple. Start with direct pressure. Second, if that doesn't work, pressure dressing. Put another pressure dressing on top of it. Check for distal pulse. Or if that also doesn't work and you have access to commercial tourniquet, put a commercial tourniquet. Even if this doesn't work, you can go ahead and put another tourniquet above the joint. In this case, above the joint. Otherwise, if it was a longer limb, I would put the second tourniquet just 2 inches just above the previous tourniquet. Thank you.